So 3 keys to beating the Chargers Sunday. Number 1, it deals with the quarterback, Justin Herbert. Must get Herbert off his spot. So take us through that, what you see and what you mean by that.
Well, first one you're going to see here is just that the Steelers bring a 7-man pressure. He does not have the receivers that he used to. So what I mean by getting him off his spot is play man coverage, and now you're going to see the right tackle, Joe Alden's going to be a great player, just gets beat. And he just gets beat by Watt. So look for them Browns to find matchups. Now, what I mean by getting him off his spot is not allowing him to throw in rhythm. It doesn't really mean throwing on the run. It means if he wants to throw on the run, make him set up. If he wants to set up in the pocket, get him moving outside the pocket. He's very talented. He's got elite arm talent. He's a top 10 quarterback. But like a lot of quarterbacks, he's not as good on the move. So you got to get him off his spot. You got to hit him. You got to challenge his offensive line. There's some struggles interiorly. I think their center can be beat a little bit. The receivers, Ladd McConkey's their top guy. So they got rid of Allen. They got rid of Mike Williams. They got rid of Eckler. So they're in a rebuild on offense. And I think the Browns can take advantage of that with their defense.
Yeah, they do like to run the football. Not a surprise given what we know about the new head coach, Jim Harbaugh. And so number 2, second point of the 3 keys to beating the Chargers that you have is control the power pass. So take us through that and what you mean here.
Well, this really got started. If you watch the left guard, he's going to pull. And when the left guard pulls, there's so many schemes in football, power, counter, pin, and pull, where those guards are getting out and they're moving. So this started with Tom Brady back in his New England days with Gronk and those good tight ends and receivers, where they're going to pull that guard in pass protection. And what that does, it brings those linebackers up. So as you play again, you're going to see those linebackers step up just a little bit. And as they step up, they leave gaping windows behind them, and then they scramble and they don't drop as well because they think it's a run play. So linebackers like to tackle. So this power pass, this is their best pass protection. And what the Browns have to do is they have to make sure that when they get in their drops after checking run, they make sure they locate receivers. And this is what the Saints really struggled with, was finding receivers after they got in their drop. So again, they're going to run a lot of power. They're going to pull the guards. They're going to be physical up front with Jim Harbaugh's offense, and then they're going to run this power pass. And what I mean by power pass, it's not the routes, it's the protection up front. They make it look like a power run game and then bring those backers up and throw it over top and in front of the safeties.
What have you seen from Herbert? That was a guy that a young guy who was kind of ascending, had some foot issues earlier in the year. What have you seen from him when you looked at him on film?
I watched, they're 4-3. I watched all 7 games. And think about Justin Herbert, he's got elite arm talent. He breaks a couple long runs. He's a really good athlete. He can make all the throws inside, outside the pocket. So all those measurables that people talk about, he can make all the throws. I really, truly believe that the Chargers are in somewhat of a offensive scheme issue like the Browns are. Obviously, Harbaugh wants to run power, counter, getting 12 and 13 personnel. They're not doing that as much, nor should they with the talent of Justin Herbert. However, how you marry those two, they're doing a little bit better than the Browns did early in the season, in my opinion. But they still want to rely on the run game, and they don't want to rely on a quarterback. And that's always kind of been Harbaugh's thing, where he's going to rely on the run game and physicality. So he's been very good. He can make all the throws. He just hasn't had to make them as much because of what they want to do offensively. And he doesn't have the skill players he's had in the past either.
So they did get J.K. Dobbins, who started off quickly and has tailed off. What have you seen from Dobbins when you watch the Chargers?
Well, it's funny going into the season. So that was my biggest question mark when you look around the AFC. They brought in Dobbins, who's had struggle with injuries, and they brought in Gus the Bus, who I just love down in the red zone. But both of those guys, Edwards is getting towards the end of his career, and Dobbins has had such injury issues. However, when Dobbins is healthy, he's a really good back. He's good in pass protection. He's a 3-down back. He can catch the ball from the running back position and split out. Like I said, he's really good in pass protection. I think he's really good in this gap scheme that Harbaugh wants to get to. Again, the thing about Harbaugh, it's not really the schemes, it's the style. They want to be physical in everything they do, and Dobbins fits that. For Dobbins, it's all a bit about health. He's healthy. He's a good running back.